Good morning. Peter, is it?
Morning, yes, that's right.
Hello, my name's Charlie Thompson. I'm a kidney specialist consultant, and as I know, you've been referred into this clinic from the nephrology clinic that you've been in up until now because of progressive kidney damage.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
My agenda for today is to make sure that you understand what your options are for dialysis treatment. What's on your agenda for today? What are you expecting?
Well, I mean, I was told at the other clinic that, you know, the time had come that the kidney disease had got to such a point that I would need to come to speak to you.
Yeah.
So that's what I understood.
How much do you understand about what will happen if we just do nothing?
Well, I know that the disease will get worse and worse.
Yeah.
And there's no way back from that, really.
And what would then happen?
Well, I imagine that would mean that I wouldn't survive it.
Yeah. So, given that we can't put you on the transplant list straight away, we've got some other choices to make about the forms of dialysis treatment. Mm-hmm. How much do you understand about your options for dialysis treatment at the moment?
Well, I mean, I know from the booklet that there are different types, but beyond that.
How much do you know about the different types? Can you say what they are?
Well, I know that there's the type that you have to go to hospital for,
yeah,
which is what my dad had in the past.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's one that you can have at home as well.
Yeah.
And I sort of read a bit on that.
Okay. Well, really, that's the focus of today's discussion between us, really, is to decide which of those options we should plan for. You can't always stick with that option, and sometimes the complications set in with one and we have to switch to the other treatment, but I'd like to make a decision with you today about which form of treatment we should plan for in the first instance.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'd like to just make sure you have a better understanding or a full understanding of the different options for treatment, and then we'll talk a little bit about which treatment would suit you best. Just let me check with you how much you understand about what the options are at the moment.
Well, from what you've said, that the hemodialysis would require quite regular attendance at the hospital.
Yeah. For
several hours at a time.
Yeah.
Using a kidney machine.
Yeah.
Whereas the alternative could be done at home.
Yeah.
Using essentially fluids to clean the waste material.
Okay. But there's a decision aid that we have here, which I think you may have been given before. Let's just work through this very briefly. So the three options we have are hemodialysis at home, hemodialysis in a dialysis unit, that's nearly always a hospital setting,
right,
and peritoneal dialysis with bags at home. There are actually two different forms of peritoneal dialysis, which are explained in a bit of detail here. What do you think?
To be honest, I mean, I would really like, if possible, to have treatment at home. Okay. That seems better than coming into the hospital.
Do you think you'd manage with that?
I think I would, yes.
Do you? Okay. Have you ever done anything like this before? You know, are you technical?
To be honest, I am really.
Okay.
In the past, I never really found a job that suited the degree that I did, and I'd always ended up working with people and ending up in, you know, various problems. But I've always tinkered a lot with stuff, and I think that I would probably really grasp that. And
what's your degree in?
Engineering, mechanical engineering.
Didn't realise. That's great. Okay.
So I'm really interested in how things work. And would certainly, looking at that, relish that opportunity actually.
Okay. So if you had peritoneal dialysis, obviously that sounds like it's your first choice.
Yes.
Sometimes complications set in, and for one reason or other we can't go on with peritoneal dialysis, in which case, leaving these options aside, you'd need to have hemodialysis. And again, the best option for that would be a fistula, if we could make one of those.
Yeah.
You don't like the sound of that, do you?
If at all possible, I'd rather avoid that completely.
Tell me a bit more.
Well, it was that led to my father dying. Actually, that his actually burst. It was a terrible time. Yes. So if I can avoid that at all, that would be preferable.
Yeah. You know. We're not going to make you do anything. And there are ways of giving you dialysis that don't involve a fistula at all. You
Okay.
can sometimes put a tube, a bit like the Tenkoff tube, but a tube straight into one of the veins behind the breastbone.
Yeah.
We don't like doing that because there's a higher risk of complications compared to having a fistula. But if needs must, and certainly for a temporary basis, that's one way that we can give you hemodialysis.
Okay.
But in some ways, there are so many different branches, it's best not to plan too far ahead. I think what I'd like to do today is to make sure that we've got the first preferred option in place.
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like you'd manage well with peritoneal dialysis.
Yeah, I think so.
You don't dislike the idea of having a tube stuck out of your tummy all the time.
I know, it looks like I've got to have one somewhere.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Did you see the pictures in the booklet?
yes, I did. I had a look through, yeah.
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 And it's pretty easy to hide.
Well, yes, it didn't seem as if it was that
Yeah.
intrusive, really. You're not going to be aware of most of it, are you?
No,
So,
no, you're not.
No, so,
Um,
no, it looks fine.
Okay. Well, what I think we ought to do is certainly I'd need to get a surgeon to see to be sure that they can get a tube in safely.
Okay.
And I'd like to get the peritoneal dialysis team to come and visit you in your own flat to make sure that they think you'll be a good candidate for them and that they'll be able to train you up to do this, because it is putting quite a lot of responsibility on you. And when I first met you, I wasn't quite sure that you'd be able to take all that on, but
No, and I've got the time, so
you have plenty of time.
I'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll send a letter to the PD team and I'll send a letter to the surgeons, and we'll see you back in this clinic in about 2 months to do another set of blood tests. And obviously, once I've seen the results of today's blood tests, I'll let you know if there are any further changes necessary.
So I'll just keep as I am for now until I hear from
Keep
you.
on it as you are for now. You're on a special diet already. You're on
Yes.
all those tablets, and keep on all those tablets just as they have been so far. Keep on
Okay.
doing just as you do.
Yeah.
Great.